Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is October 16th, and yes, I'm starting 50 minutes late today because I had an emergency pastoral clergy matter to attend to first thing this morning. It happens sometimes, and now I am here fully with you. So this morning I am reading from this book called Circular Leadership Together We Rise. And that is written or compiled by Linda Roebuck, founder of A Community of Transformation. And so I opened it up to page 114, and my eyes landed on the last paragraph on that page, and here's what it offers us. Once I began to recognize there is a part of my mind that is very wise, I have become more and more willing to trust my intuition, not relying on what I would call the rational mind, but becoming willing to trust guidance is crucial for success. There seems to be a tipping point. As the willingness grows, the answers flow, and life became easier. How beautiful is that? Right? That when we drop from here to here, right, to the heart, to that infinite mind within that is so much greater than the brain, greater in what it does, different in what it does. I'm working on catching myself with these qualifiers. They simply have a different role. And so intuition is that direct line with infinite intelligence that we are. It really is not some mystical thing that only some people have. It's available to all of us when we focus our listening there. But that requires willingness to entertain the uncertain, because the brain deals with certainty. It deals with this physical realm, the amygdala, the brainstem. It's all about finding finite answers that it believes protect the physical organism. And what's really important for us, I think, to remember is that that's always based on the past. The brain is a repository of past information. It's a processor, very much like the hard drive on our computer. It has what it has been given, and it searches the information available to it to try to put together a solution. The intuitive, the infinite intelligence within us, however, has everything available to it. Things that we haven't yet experienced. And so when we become open to something beyond our rational mind, then we get to have expanded thought and expanded experience. And yes, sometimes the intuitive and the rational are at odds because the intuitive doesn't necessarily match that standard that our brain establishes as rational, because it goes beyond what the brain has experienced. And so sometimes that newness really sets up a mental, spiritual wrestling match. And when we're willing to grapple and take a risk, then we get the reward. It's that place that Holmes talks about with not arguing for our limitations. I forget who the quote is by, but it's a beautiful quote that if we risk nothing, we risk even more, right? And so are we willing to take a risk to discover more and to experience more of our spiritual perfection? What a beautiful challenge to have. Beautiful. So I'm going to read our paragraph one more time and take us into a time of being present with that infinite intelligence. To just be there and to be willing to listen to whatever comes, to not try to control what comes, don't try to make anything happen, don't try to make anything not happen, right? Just allow yourself to be present with the essence of you for 5 minutes. It's just a practice time. See what happens. Once I began to recognize there is a part of my mind that is very wise, I have become more and more willing to trust my intuition, not relying on what I would call the rational mind, but becoming willing to trust guidance is crucial for success. There seems to be a tipping point. As the willingness grows, the answers flow, and life becomes easier. Let's see what our intuition has to offer us. So with this breath, I recognize one infinite intelligence, consciousness itself, quantum energy, God, life, love, the great mystery, whatever name we call it. It is indefinable, unlimited, changeless, because it already is infinite possibility. There's nothing for it to change into, an infinite possibility for it to express without ever changing what it is, without ever being separate from itself. One substance, one creative process, one diversity, one life. The I am that I am, that it is, that all is. And so I know that I am that in form, and I know what is true of me is true of every expression of life. Each one, whole, perfect, and complete, the substance of perfection itself, an individualized blueprint of that perfection, expressing on a journey of expressing. And so I speak my word, reminding my human self, reminding my brain that this journey of self-expression is expression of the divine self, the God self, consciousness itself, emanated, animated, expressed in this physical form. And so I open the gates of receptivity to the infinite within me, infinite intelligence, infinite guidance, infinite expression, whatever words make sense in the moment. That still small voice within, whether it shows up as an idea or a desire or an urge, I open to recognizing the divine self, the intuitive within me, with clarity. And I open to receiving it with courage in this human iteration, the courage to take the risk to follow it, even when it doesn't make sense to my rational mind, even when it feels bigger than I can accomplish. I say yes, knowing that every idea comes with the source, comes from the source, and comes resourced for its own fulfillment. That I am a portal through which life is expressing. So I say yes to being more than I imagine I can be, to knowing without knowing how or why I know. Trusting that intuitive knowing and following the path as it's laid, with my next step under my foot as it comes down. No longer needing to see a mile down the road. I trust the path as it unfolds. And I am grateful I am grateful for this love that is beyond my human comprehension. This love that has no quit in it, has no judgment in it. It simply gives of itself to itself. The grace that empowers choice. The activity of law that responds affirmatively to every choice. And the grace that allows a new choice. I am grateful for this activity, the doer within the creative process. A law that works the same for everybody. A law that is a world that works. Because it works the same for each and every one. And so it is from this gratitude that I release, that I let go, that I recognize it's already complete, and so there's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to control. The outcome is the activity of law. The participation is mine to choose. And I choose yes. And so I let go of anything and everything that would impede that divine yes. Going all in willingness and surrender to be the I am that I am. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.